Muted. F. Got you guys. Thank you for the chat. Alright, Pog. Thank you. Alright, cool. So let's start with the introduction. So I'm just gonna do a quick run through of what I want to teach today, and then right after that, we're gonna go into a practice tool. We're gonna do the lesson. We're gonna focus on teaching you guys a little bit of jungle pathing, tracking the enemy jungle, and how to, clear. And then also my mindset while going through like how to jungle and the steps that I take in order to like get a win, to snowball advantage, or to get that advantage in the first place. And I'll also be watching chat on my second monitor here, so feel free to ask any questions, and yeah, I'll take a look and I can answer anytime. Yeah, alright, so for those of you guys that don't know me, I've been playing pro for jungle for like the last 2 to 3 years, and recently I've been playing a lot, coaching a lot, so you'll be able to catch me around on my stream and on ProGuides as well. Alright, cool. So let's go into practice tool. So I'm going to teach you guys 3 different types of clears on first an early game AD jungler, a late game AD jungler, and then it's going to be a scaling AP jungler. So some examples I'm going to use are Lee Sin, Kha'Zix, and Amumu. So let's just start with Lee Sin because he's my favorite champion and I basically have thousands of games on him, and I think that this is just a good baseline AD jungler, early game AD jungler. How you surviving the Rona? I'm having a pretty good time. Just, nothing has changed too much for me because I've just been online on my computer, but it kind of sucks not being able to go out. Who's my main? My main is Lee Sin. So we're going to go into this game and I want to show you guys how I clear on Lee Sin from level 1 to 3, and then what I think about when I want to gank a lane or if I want to do something else like keep farming, and then level 5-ish I'll let you guys know my idea of what I want to do. So just really quickly, because I have gone over Lee Sin before in my other guides, but for those of you that haven't really been around for those guides, so you want to start red buff. Red buff is really good with Hunter's Machete, gives you lifesteal. You want to start W because the cooldown is reduced by 50%, and that allows you to use your passive, which you auto attack twice. Every single 2 autos you get a bonus 40% attack speed when you cast an ability. So if you press W here on yourself, you can see there's a 2 auto icon, and then you W again, and then you get 2 attack speed that are 2 bonus attack speed autos. You just keep spamming W on red buff, and make sure that you start W because it's just such a short cooldown because of the 50% reduced on yourself. And then after, you want to go to your blue buff, so we'll just skip forward and walk to the blue buff here. And then you kind of want to use your Q at max range so you don't have to use the plant and you don't even have to walk into melee range. Saves you a few seconds. So Q over, auto twice, use your passive, then cast W for 2 autos again. And now you have another W. And notice how without a leash, I can basically do this clear at full HP. And then as you're doing the blue buff, make sure to drag it to the Gromp so you don't have to walk as much. And then you just repeat on the Gromp. And this is how you want to clear with basically any jungler. Not just Lee Sin, but any 80 early game jungler that doesn't really have too much AoE spells. You want to do red buff, you want to do blue buff, and Gromp, and this gives you level 3. Another clear that you can do is you can do 3 same-sided camps for level 3 as well, or 3 same-sided camps on the blue side. I prefer the single target camps when I play Lee Sin, Kha'Zix, Jarvan. Well, actually not Kha'Zix because Kha'Zix has AoE, but Lee Sin, Jarvan doesn't really do too much AoE damage. I prefer single target camps, so red, blue, Gromp. But let's say you're playing a Mumu, then you want to do more of the ranged, the AoE camps like Raptors and Double Golems and Wolves, because you have Talisman, you heal more from hitting more members. Kindred also wants to do the single target camp, so make sure you guys kind of like understand your champion's like strengths and weaknesses and kind of like adjust your path from that. So here we're gonna go back. Oh, one thing that's really interesting, a lot of people don't know, is that red buff has negative 15 armor, so it's not worth smiting red buff because you want to save smite for the blue buff, which has 10 armor. So that's why when I was soloing red buff here at level 1 with no leash, I didn't use my smite on red buff to get to level 2 fast because I want to save it for the blue that has more armor. So it's interesting to know. And it's just vice versa. It has less magic resist, is negative 15 magic resist, when the red buff has more magic resist. So keep that in mind. That's why AP junglers sometimes like to start blue buff, because it's just a little bit faster to do. So one thing that I want to show you guys is how to gank on jungle. And you guys might have seen this before in my last guide, but basically, say like your mid laner puts an enemy mid laner, say like this is an enemy mid laner here, right? Where you can see this ally target dummy, and he wards over this bush. So notice how this ward only sees you if you gank from here. But if you go around like this way, like they won't be able to see you if you go around on the ramp. See how these enemy target dummies are not in sight of this ward? So a lot of times, if I'm looking to gank mid, make sure to track where he wards and then look to avoid the ward by going over like this. And then it's pretty much just easy ganks from there on. If they are playing aggressive and they're even like right here, you just easily ward jump, gank them here, and then say like this guy has flash, you can follow with your Q, and you even have flash to follow or flash out of the tower range. So that's pretty cool. And then just for, since we're in practice tool with Lee Sin, this is also, I'll show you guys some cool gank tips. So yep, you can also do the wraparound here, but if you want to do the wraparound on Raptors, like say there's an enemy over here, you can ward jump over, like over here, or flash over and then kick. So let me auto refresh cooldown here, and then that's a kick in sec. And you can basically do that like even here, or jump here, flash, and then say this guy is here. That's a gank. Same thing with top lane, except you go through the tri-bush. So now let me show you guys how I do the clear with Amumu. So we're gonna go into kind of like AP junglers and showing you guys how to clear with the talisman. So let's go into a game with using the talisman. Oh, so actually someone mentioned Fiddlesticks and Karthus, but you'll be able to apply what I show you guys with the Mumu with the talisman, just with like Fiddlesticks and Karthus too. So runes don't really matter too much, so don't read into the runes here. I just want to show you guys really quick how I would clear with an AoE champion. Yep, on Fiddlesticks, you want to do red and raptors at the same exact time. So how you would do it is you would leash the red buff towards your raptor camp, and since your W pretty much just hits everybody around you, if you can bring raptors and red buff to touch each other, and you can just be in between both camps, then you just press W and you do both camps at the same time, and you're also going to be really healthy because you're draining 2 camps at once. So I'll kind of show you what to do there, but it's not going to be exact. So basically, I'll show you guys what I mean. And you can actually do this with every single jungler that has like ranged AoE spells. So I'll just show it really briefly here. So you pretty much like auto attack red, and then it's hard to do it on a Mumu, but this is kind of the idea, is that you're doing raptors here, and then like the red buff comes back, but it's easier with a ranged champion because you're also sucking both of them at the same time. But it's not something that you necessarily want to do on a Mumu. That's something that you would do on Fiddlesticks, or some other champions. Like Hecarim. Hecarim's actually a good example too. So let's talk about first clear as a Mumu. So as a Mumu, if you can get a bot leash, it's good. So I'm going to start red buff. Hunter's Talisman steals HP from monsters, and it steals HP from like the abilities that you cast. So that means that you're going to heal a shit ton from doing raptors or wolves or even double golems. I'll show you guys exactly why. So red buff is easy to do as a Mumu if you start W and use your smite. So I use my smite on the red buff because it has higher magic resist. See, so it's harder to do than blue buff. So I want to use my smite here. And then here, let me show you guys the Hunter's Talisman passive on jungle, because a lot of new junglers don't really understand how Hunter's Talisman works. So I'm going to take some damage here. So the passive says damaging a monster with a spell or attack steals 30 HP over 5 seconds and deals burn damage. So it's actually really OP if you use this and use a spell to hit all 5 monsters, because if you E here and then notice the burn damage is healing you. That's why Hunter's Talisman is so OP on AP junglers. So when you're doing raptors, you're literally healing while doing raptors. Look how I'm not taking any damage at all. I'm not even going to have to use my E. So this is why, as a Mumu, and like AP junglers in general, like Karthus, prioritize doing these AoE camps. Same thing with double golems. It's really OP. So I'm going to take 2 tower shots here. Look. We can just literally heal it up. Double golems is a little bit trickier because it's only 2 monsters compared to the raptors. But when you get down to 3 and then they split up, you start to heal a little bit more because of the talisman burn. Yep, so we just heal from doing the small ones there. So prioritize doing those camps. I just wanted to show you guys the value of Hunter's Talisman and comparatively to the value of Hunter's Machete. Machete is better on auto attack based champions like Lee Sin, Jarvan, and then Hunter's Talisman's better on mages like Amumu. And I know this is pretty basic, but the main thing I want to show you guys is just how much you heal off of this item. So anytime you're low in the jungle and you want to gank, before you gank, you can say like you're low, right? And then you have this tower shot. Say you want to get some HP back, just go to a raptor camp and press E, and then you'll heal it. You'll heal a little bit extra HP. So notice it's just free regen. It's pretty OP. Okay. Would Machete be better on Volibear and Hecarim? Yep, Machete would be better on Volley and Hecarim. When to take Red or Blue Smite? So you want to take Red Smite against bruisers that want to fight you in the melee range, and because having a slow isn't really good against, say, like a Rengar who's already on top of you, right? But it's really good against Rengar because you can stop the infinite or the 3-second, bursts of all his abilities, and you also do more damage with that Smite. But if you're against like mages like Xerath, you're chasing down a Xerath, the slow helps you land your skill shot, then you go the Blue Smite. Okay, so now let's do Kha'Zix clear. So with Kha'Zix, I like going 10, 9, 6, the 10% attack speed, because I like having the extra clear speed when doing single target camps. The attack speed helps because more auto attacks, more damage. Yeah, Hunter's Talisman is good on Hecarim. I would go Hunter's Talisman on Hecarim. I would go Hunter's Talisman on Hecarim if you're looking to start Raptors. If you're not looking to start Raptors and you're focusing on single target camps, like if you're trying to do a red, blue Gromp and then gank, then you want to go Machetes. If you want to do full clear, then Talisman is debatable. It's probably going to be healthier. Your clear speed might actually be faster depending on if you're doing Raptors or if you're doing large like number of monster camps, like double wounds. Okay, so with Kha'Zix, you want to go Hunter's Talisman. And the reason why is because it synergizes really well with doing Raptors because of your W healing. Because your W is an AoE ability that can basically just hit all the camps, but it's an 8-second cooldown and you heal for 60 as well. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So we're just going to start with red buff. Red buff, you want to start Q. Isolation damage from the Q. So the damage goes from 60 to here you can see 151 when it's isolated. So you're going to see that I'm going to be really low after doing red buff, and that's because I don't have a leash. But we're not going to be too worried about that because of the Hunter's Talisman passive. So W here is going to heal me a ton. And then now I want to kite out the Raptors. And then W again. And then Hunter's Talisman is basically going to do all the work. So that's how you do Raptors there. The key important part about doing Raptors is leashing it out and hitting all of them with the W. And then here we're going to heal from doing Wolves here too. So I didn't use my Smite yet, but I'm just going to use it on Wolves here. Just so I can speed up this clear a little bit. And I just want to be a little bit healthy for when I do my blue buff, because I have Smite coming up in 5 seconds. I'm going to use my second Smite on blue buff. So with Kha'Zix, since he's a scaling jungler, you can look for level 3 gank. So you can look for level 3 gank here if enemy is low, or mid if they're pushed up and they didn't ward well. But I usually like to keep farming as Kha'Zix because it'll just help me get to my spikes. And my spikes are getting level 6 for the ulti evolve, and then warriors for the damage boost. So yeah, that's why I really like farming on Kha'Zix. I don't really like ganking too much early, because then it'll slow down your warriors unless you're successful on the gank. So of course go for the ganks if it's really high chance and you can get a kill, but if not, you want to keep getting the gold and level income. So that's kind of how you do these camps as Kazakhs. And then this is why I love playing this champion. So if I level up to 6, I start with R here and say we're looking to gank mid, right? So you want to level up your R stealth because it helps you with setting up ganks. You can level up your Q evolve as well if you're having trouble 1v1ing, but I love the R ability because when you have 3 stealth abilities and they last longer, you can do a bunch of cool stuff. Imagine they have a ward in this bush, right? And that ward only covers up to this point. So if I move my champion, it's only going to cover up this point. So imagine that this is an enemy ward, and this is showing the enemy's vision. So here, you would go hug this wall, and then you would stealth to avoid the ward vision, get in this bush, and then you would stealth right again, and you're basically right behind an enemy right here. You auto attack them, and they're dead. Another different gank path that you can do is, say like you have a sweeper, pink ward. So you can sweep this out, and then you can either pink this or sweep this out. Then now, if you're looking to gank mid, you can literally stealth right behind them, and they won't even see you coming. That's why I love the stealth ability on Kazakhs. It's basically broken, like period broken. So let me show you another example. So for example, let's say enemy is right here, your ally is right here, they're fighting. You can stealth into this bush, and most people don't have this bush warded. Wait, and then stealth again, and you're right behind them. That's another kill. Same thing bottom. Everything is replicatable across the map. And then here you can keep stealthing across the alcove if you want. And then this is another stealth gank. Bam. Can we talk about how useless dragons are? I do agree that dragons are useless if they're alone. Dragons are only good if you can get stacking dragons, or if you can get the dragon soul win condition, where they're pressured to fight you, otherwise you get soul. Because they nerfed dragons so much compared to last patch that it's not the end of the world if they get first dragon. You can still win the game even if they have 2 dragons. It's only the 3rd drag that matters a lot, and the 4th drag that matters a lot. So how I rate the dragons are early game, number 1 drags are Ocean Drag, Cloud Drag if you have really good ultimates, Mountain Drag is one of the worst drags, and then Infernal Drag is dependent on your team comp. If you have a lot of damage dealers, or if you don't really have people that stack a bunch of damage, then it's pretty useless. Because they nerfed it from 8% to 4% nearly. Alright, so that's going to be the Kazakh clear. So I showed that. And now I just want to show you guys exactly how I would play jungle through a replay. So I'm going to go into one of my replays. So let me go into one of my replays. So this is my Smurf account. And it's basically where this account has really high MMR because it has a high win rate. So this is around the diamond elo. And I want to show you guys how I snowball when I'm playing around diamond. And yeah, let me show you exactly that. So here, we'll go into everything. I'll explain my entire thought process while going through this game. So here we're level 1 invading. I think my Janna called for it, but we get like a chunk on Tryndamere, and that's fine. So I start red buff here, because I'm Lee Sin, I prioritize red buff. It helps me with my jungle clear. I'm really strong with red buff, and Lee Sin doesn't really need blue buff at level 1. So here, my mid laner warded his raptors. So we know that he started red buff. So my mid laner is kind of harassing him a little bit. I saw that Katarina was going to stop Zoe. so I kind of chunk him here. And I threw the Q there in case Pantheon was over the wall. And now I saw that Pantheon was having trouble doing his red buff Raptor clear, and he's going to be a little bit low. And I have Prio in mid lane because Zoe's pushing. This counts as Prio. He is pushing and Katarina can't move or Katarina will die. Bot lane has Prio too because they are farther across the halfway point than these guys. And they are also two range champions that just outrange Zillion and Lucian early game. And Tristana looks like they're winning. It looks like they're winning trades, so I just assume they're going to be able to move first if I fight him to the death. So I invade his blue buff. So this is counter jungling, and this also kind of like vertical jungling, where you do red into the enemy blue buff at level 2 in order to split the map topside. So the Pantheon is either forced to fight me to the death here and lose, or he's going to go to my blue buff. And so I pressure him to go to my blue buff, and I know he's going to go to my blue buff because of this ward here again. So it's very easy for me to predict that he's going to be here. So I cross map, and I'm tracking his jungle pathing, and now I'm kind of like trying to punish. So I get the blue buff with my smite, and I just E-flash on him because I know he's just stuck. Because I have mid prow and I have top prow. This is something that you don't want to do as an enemy jungler or yourself as a jungler, which is invade without prio. You don't have prio mid lane, you don't have prio top lane, this Pantheon should have invaded. So now he's even farther behind, and I get Scuttlecrap here, and I get Bomb Scuttle too. So I double Scuttle here. And the reason why I'm not scared of cross-mapping to get both Scuttles, because I have bot prio, they're under tower, and I have mid prio. So we just fight 2v2 and it's 1. What if you have prio in one lane but not the other? Then you gauge who has superior prio. So for example, let's say my Zoe has super prio. So let's go and show a real-time example. Let's say at this exact time when I'm at blue buff, say my bot lane doesn't have prio, and say they're kind of like shoved in over here. But since my Zoe has so much prio because Katarina is literally half HP, I can still do this because if we do fight, Zoe's going to be first, and Zoe and I can basically collapse on their bot lane if they try and rotate up through river. What is prio? Prio is kind of like whoever has push in lane and whoever can rotate to an objective first. And in this case, the objective is blue buff, and since my mid lane has push, he can rotate to blue buff first, and since my AD carry support are winning lane kind of, they can rotate to the objective here too. Prio is short term for lane priority. Yeah, so I punished the Pantheon here. What percent of the time do you think you watch minimap instead of your champion in early game? That's a really good question. So you want to look at the minimap every 3 seconds at least, and you want to build that habit slowly but surely. So if you need to use a timer in the background, that's what you can do as well, where you have like a timer in the background to remind yourself to look at the minimap, or you can just keep on constantly thinking about it, and that'll help you out. What role lane do you think is least impactful in the current meta? I think it could be top lane, but depending on the player, top lane can also carry. So here, I run in Wild Pantheon, and I basically know that I win 1v1 against him, but I don't want to go in because Katarina is closer. Instead, we just farm for some levels. And now I look to gank bottom. We get a huge chunk on them. And because we got the huge chunk, that gives me bot lane priority because they have to base, so I can get the Scuttle Crab. And then, same reason, I can get the dragon because they had the base. And then I just see that these guys are overextended, so they're just gonna die here. There's Pantheon. And now we do red buff. Next objective, since we already got the dragon, should be to go for top herald. Since we already got the dragon, there's no reason to really prioritize this pink ward as long as my bot lane is safe from getting roamed on. And since Katarina can't roam because he's stuck under a tower, we can get the free herald. And because I see Pantheon from this ward, I know I beat him 1v1. I know my Zoe can come first. So we just fight here. Kick, Q, one shot. And here, this is the most important part, guys. I want to ask you guys in chat, where should I use my herald? Bot lane, mid lane, and top lane, and what's the reasoning? So I really want to know what you guys think. Looks like I'm getting a lot of mids. I got some top lanes and a few bot lanes. Alright, so for you guys that have guessed top, top is correct. And the reason why you want to use top, because you can get the most out of the herald, because you'll get the first tower if you use the top instead of mid. Bot's just too far away, so I'm not going to walk all the way bottom. And it looks like they're already going to get that tower eventually. So you want to use a top, because the herald does around 2,200 damage flat. So you want to use it when the platings are lower, because your platings, as the platings get lower, they get more armor, because of the armor passive. So you want to use it at around 2 to 3 platings, so it's top. If you use it mid here, when it's at 5 platings, you're only going to get the tower to 3 plates and maybe 2.5, but you're not going to get first tower. So I value the first tower gold here, so I go top, push the wave in, we use herald, we kill the Tryndamere pretty much, and we basically get the tower to this HP, but it's eventually going to go down. So if we skip forward, literally the tower is going to drop as soon as like Malphite goes up, kills the Tryndamere one more time. But the thought process is there. If Pantheon doesn't ulti in there, we actually forced Pantheon to use ulti, Tryndamere to use ulti, and they still died for it, and we got 2 platings. So we would have gotten first tower if it weren't for the Pantheon ulting in, Trin inting using his ulti. But the concept stays the same. And so here, we get dragon again. And then we get bomb tower anyway, because I'm playing for bomb tower next. And we'll see here that Malphite shoves in Tryndamere. Oh, does he get solo killed? No way. Yeah, so if he pushes that one wave, this tower is going to go down ASAP. And now our goal is basically to get all the outer towers. So we want to get all the outer towers. We already got top tower. Tristana, Janna swapped up. So notice how after they got bomb tower, they swapped up to get top tower. This is the most important concept for low elo 80 carry support duos. Is that after you get one objective on this side of the map, you want to swap if top tower is still up, so you can keep spreading your lead. So now notice how they got top tower already, and Tristana is starting to run mid. Because Tristana now wants to get mid tower. So he's going to push mid and start hitting mid tower. And now we have all 3 towers at 15 minutes in the game. So here, let me ask you guys in chat, what's the next objective? Let's see if you guys figure this out. Okay, so yes, we should have someone stop. We should have someone stop Tryndamere. Yes. We should look for Herald. Yep. And we should look to set up Dragon when it comes up. I don't think Dragon's gonna come up yet because the indicator's not showing up on the map. There should be an hourglass that's gonna be a 1 minute indicator. So here I'm probably gonna go top side, maybe catch top wave, maybe start Herald. Malphite will probably go top, so I don't even have to go catch the wave. Massive insight into the gameplay. Thank you so much. Thank you, DW. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, so here I just go Herald. And that's just the next objective. So objective-based gameplay when jungling. That's the most important thing in the world. Because if you just run around going for kills, you're not going to end the game very fast. You got to end the game fast as a jungler. Because objective control is one of like the best things you're suited at because you have the smite ability. You have the ability to roam around. You're not stuck in one lane. So you can always go top or bomb depending on the situation. So here we just use Herald mid. And we fight. And we can always look into the gameplay stuff, but I want to focus on the macro stuff and playing the map. So we use Herald mid because they were in the jungle, they were split up, and we were grouped. So we had numbers advantage. We used the Herald, won the fight, got the tower. After getting the objective, think about next objective. If there's no next objective, then you base, you reset, and then you set up your next game plan. So next objective here is Dragon. So we go Dragon. These guys don't need me on the inhib, so I'm doing 2 objectives at once. A little bit greedy, but it's worked out because they were dead. So we get that objective there. Now we have 3 stacking dragons. So we push top, push mid, do Baron here. So this is the next thing that's really important is after I got Dragon, we're already thinking about the next play, right? Next play should be to get Baron. So we're walking into the enemy top jungle. We're pushing them out of the Baron area so they can't actually contest us. So I push them out by just chasing them. I know I'm really strong, so I just push them out, kill them, and now that's Baron. That's basically game over. So let's go into Q&A, guys. If you have any questions, please ask. And then after that, we'll be doing a 5v5 in-house. Crowd control is CC that prevents you from doing damage or moving or casting abilities. What buff to start on Kindred? Red buff. How to play from behind as a jungler? You're going to have to focus on counter ganking and maybe trading objectives. How do you get rid of inting teammates? It's never going to happen, man. Machete on Trundle or Olaf? Yep, Machete. You can go Talisman on Olaf if you start Raptors, but that's it. I think Kindred is really good. How long did it take you to get good on jungle and learning procs? So I started in season 1. I think I was like iron or bronze. No, I was bronze because there was iron. Season 2, I was silver or gold. And then season 3, I climbed to diamond, challenger, and always been challenger pro level since like I was like 13, bro. How do you decide with what lane to prio? You decide based off of matchup, if they have a winning matchup, or if you don't know champion matchups yet, just look and see, just look and watch the lanes always constantly while doing camps, and you'll basically see who's winning trades or not. Should you feel stressed about not having an AP champion on your pool? Nope, not at all. There are people that only play one champion and get challenger. Please explain one Italy game. If you check out my stream on Twitch, I can do that for you, but I want to focus on diversifying everything and just focusing mainly on jungle in general. for today. What junglers are strong now? Farming junglers or ganking ones? Ganking junglers are good if you know how to end the game cleanly in less than 25 minutes. Farming junglers are better if the game goes late. Can you play with me? Yes, we're gonna do the play with the pro. We're gonna be doing that right away. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm gonna create a Summoner's Rift game. We're gonna do draft mode, and we're gonna do name is gonna be ProGuides YouTube. Team size 5. Password is going to be jungling 101. Alright, join away. And how you decide your roles, guys, is top to bottom. So make sure first pick has first choice, second pick, second choice, third pick, fourth pick. Or you can just try and figure it out yourself, but do like, you know how before there was like no role selection and how you had to say like jungle prefer, all that stuff. So yeah, you know the deal. You guys have been playing for a decent amount. If not, just say your role in chat. Don't say it in this chat, say in the champion select chat. I'm just gonna start fast because I want to see if we can get maybe 2 games. If it's 2 fast games, then we can do 2 5v5 in-houses. Let's do it. Any tips for playing Nocturne? Do you think he's good for getting out of low? Yes, he's really good. Tips for Nocturne, you basically beat every single melee champion 1v1 if you get the fear off and use lethal tempo for the bonus AD. I'm just gonna ban random champions, hopefully no one plays them. You play Olaf? Yep, yes I do. Yo guys, while we're starting up this game, make sure you guys check out ProGuides.com. Check out all the guides there. You can make a free account, and it's just been pretty amazing. Like I do live coaching classes there every single night pretty much, and they basically have everybody doing it in the afternoons, mornings, and like nights depending on your time zone. And basically it's just like this stream. So if you're learning a lot from this stream, you're gonna have a lot more of these streams on Pro Guides. So make sure to check it out. I'm sure they're doing like a free trial thing, free to make an account. There's just so much resources. So yeah, you know where to go. Can I also give Elise tips? Focus on single target camps, and also you can animation cancel your Q, change form into insta Q. So you can QRQ. That's the best combo there is on Elise. Land your stun, use your spider, and then QRQ for the fast damage. Oh yeah, you know, if you feel like you couldn't get in game today, you should most definitely join Pro Guides because their classes are a little bit smaller than the YouTube classes, and you pretty much everybody that's in chat always gets their answers, you know, always get their questions answered. They always get into the games. So yeah, if you really want to get into this game, check it out. I'm also probably going to be doing classes tonight and then tomorrow night and then the next day and then the next day. Let's do Kha'Zix. Different style for Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix wants to stay in the fight longer if he goes Conqueror. If he goes Electrocute, then he wants to burst and then get out of the fight and then burst again. So it depends on enemy team comp, whether you go Electrocute or whether you go Conqueror. What about Face Rush? Face Rush is good if you're playing against like really squishy champions and you don't need the bonus dueling power. So like it's more of like a win harder rune. So they have squishy champions. I like to go Electrocute in this situation. I'm gonna go Electrocute because I feel like I can just burst them and just get out right away. What to max on Kha'Zix second? You want to max your W ability. It's going to be Q max, then W. Evolve depends on the game. I like going Stealth, personal favorite, so it helps me gank more. It helps me sets up the stealth ganks, but you can also evolve Q for the extra clear speed and the doing objectives and also 1v1 situations. Would you use Hail Blades with less skill squishy champs? I don't really like Hail Blades on Kha'Zix because I feel like he's more of a spellcaster. He uses E, Q, W, one shot, and then gets out. You're not going to be using the bonus attacks too much. Full 80 team comp? Unlucky, actually. But it's fine, because they're kind of full 80 too, so we're in the same boat. So how I want to play this Lee Sin matchup, he's supposed to beat me early, but if I get Warrior, I get items, then I'll win. I'll definitely go Red Smite, because he's a bruiser. I can probably deny a lot of his damage if I go Red Smite. Machete or Talisman on Vi? Vi, you want to go Machete, because he's really auto-attack based champ, and you don't really use your abilities too often. You use your E, but that's more of an auto-attack than an ability. Do you gank more or farm more? Depends on the jungler. If you're playing a ganking jungler, you want to gank more. If you want to play a scaling jungler, you want to farm more to get levels. What is a farming jungler? Farming jungler is like me this game. Kha'Zix is a scaling jungler because he scales more with items. Lee Sin's the early game jungler. He's a ganking jungler because he falls off in the late game and he's stronger in the early game. He has higher base stats early, but his scaling stats are not as good as mine. So they're looking to invade. I'm just going to ward. So in this situation where you ward level 1, you can actually base and change the sweeper because you can reduce the cooldown on the trinket. So they're still invading. We just let them. So notice how it's 3 minutes. Switch. Now it's 30 seconds. We're doing in-house 5v5s with the viewers. What lane would I play around this game? Let's see. So in this game, let me reorder everything. Bot is really gankable. Mid is a little tough to gank because it's a Malphite, but it should be easy if they get low. I think mid is actually pretty gankable too. So this game, I'm going to focus on clearing my jungle because I'm not really an early ganking champion. But around level 6 is when I spike because I get my evolve. So we're going to try and farm full clear for level 6. Spamming W as much as I can. Gonna leash the camp out towards my raptors. This way we stay at full HP. And you can see I'm kiting the camp so that they're not always auto attacking me. So that way I can stay at a very healthy HP. And I'm going to do the same thing with my raptor clear. I'm going to pull it out so I'm not trapped in all 5 raptors, so I can kite some of them while focusing the others. And I'm letting the talisman burn do the work. Now I can do blue buff. Looks like Lee Sin could have started... Oh, no, he's level 3 ganking mid. So we're going to come to counter gank, and this is definitely a counter gank. So we're going to wait until he walks up even more, and then look for the counter here. So notice there how I baited, waited for Lee Sin to walk up, and then I countered. So that's really important when it comes to counter ganking, knowing your limits like that. So they use both flash, 8 mid, jungle. Make sure to time their flashes as a jungler. You have plenty of time going from camp to camp. Now we just get Scuttle Crab. So I'm assuming Lee Sin's gonna go bomb Scuttle Crab. It's process of elimination, and he has Prio bottom, so he'll probably go bottom. First item is gonna be Red Smite into Warrior. Red Smite because it's really good against Lee Sin and Darius and Malphite, good against melee champions and burst champs. Gonna use blues. Gonna use Smite there on blue. Gonna do Grom. And we're kind of just full clearing. Just because my champion scales really well on levels. And getting as much levels is really good. Eight mid jungle is just my timer. So I use Control A, Control C, Control V. So if I want to add more timers when I get another flash, I'll show you guys why I do this instead of just pinging. So like say I Control V, now I can do like XXX, Control A, Control C, and then I can use this again. So that's how you do it. So bot lane, they're kind of pushing, but my pike is low, my MF is low, so it's kind of hard to gank, so we're just going to keep on farming. And looking at mid lane, he's doing fine. Just farming now, since I'm a farming jungler. And I'm just trying to hit my level 6 spike. So Malphite has no flash because I have this timed. And yeah, we can look for dragon as well if we can get bomb prio. But it's fine not to rush it because we're the team that kind of outscales. I'm the jungler that outscales. Malphite has no flash. We can look for bot game now. Bot game possibly here. So we're going to start with sweeping. And they kind of played safe there. So because they're playing safe, that means I have prio now because my bot lane is starting to get some push. And Yasuo is prio for mid push. And so now we can get dragon. And that's first drag. Ocean drag is really good. And then Herald's in 140. So you're thinking objective focus. You're looking for next Herald soon. Just here in case Malphite ulti's in. Looking to see if Raptors is up here. This might be really greedy, but I can possibly counter jungle this too. I don't have top prow, so that was the worry, but good thing I had a plant there. So I was just ready in case it backfired. That was just like a gamble in my part, hoping that they didn't know I was going for the red. But it's completely fine that it didn't work out. So Malphite warded here, we can sweep the ward. Looks like he's kind of watching me, so I gotta be careful. Now I'm level 6. And we can actually look for Malphite on the cannon minion. If he walks up, just get a decent trade. Now I think I'm just gonna do my camps. I was just looking for the cross map there. I'm evolving R for the gank threat. So I can have more ultis for more stealths. So I can gank from different angles. And I'll show you exactly that when I get to use it. Q is also fine to evolve there. It's more personal preference. So now we have Warrior. This is the spike. This is the spike that I need in order to snowball this game. So after I get Warrior here, because Kha'Zix scales so well off of 60, 80, and 10% CDR, that now I can just go hunting for Lee Sin, wherever he is. And then I can look for a fight, or I can start an objective and force him to fight me. Otherwise, I get the objective. So here we see Lee Sin bottom, Herald is free. So now we're going to do Herald. Mid died, but Malphite has no ulti, so he's going to be really weak, and he has no mana and HP. So this should be free still, because I have top prio, and he hits 3k. Lee Sin's going to cross map here and maybe fight us. I'm down to actually fight this. So there's actually a good chance that they still come. Let's see. So actually, I'm just gonna do. We actually might get this guy. Let's see. Let me see if Lee Sin's at his Raptors. Nope. But I can actually cancel Malphite base, make him annoyed. And here, where do you guys think I should use Herald? It's gonna be probably at the lower HP towers, which is top. Or if we can get a kill, then we can use a Herald somewhere else too. Yep, it's gonna be top. Yeah, you usually go RW, then E. Okay, so let me show you guys how I play for this Herald top. First, we have to chunk the Darius. We're gonna abuse my stealth in order to do this. So we're gonna use the stealth, so it's undetected that I'm right on top of him. And now that he's chunked, we can just Herald away because he's gonna be scared of getting dove. That's first tower. So that's why I like going the stealth route The Evolve Q wouldn't have done anything there for me. But the stealth extends the stealth duration, and I have more stealths to play with. And we just keep playing for this. Because I think Lee Sin was bottom. Could be wrong. So just sweeping there to check if Lee Sin's there. And we get 2 towers with Herald. And this is how you use Herald. And that's actually really good that a lot of you guys in chat knew that the best play was to use it top. So nice job. Now Alawi and I want to go dragon. Because after one objective, think about the next objective. How you snowball the game. Here we're going to actually go this. I want to go for Yeoman's Ghostblade. They do have Frozen Heart, so I'll probably go Black Cleaver after Yeoman's Ghostblade. The Yomos first. I just really love this item on him, especially if you go the stealth build. Let's see if we can kill this guy. So we got his ulti. Got his flash as well. If he didn't flash there, I would kill him because my R also refreshes. One sec. Ooh, that was clean. That was clean by Poto-san. He R flash autoed while I was knocked up, so I couldn't even cast my E. They need to be careful there. They need to back off because it's a 4v5 right now. This game's going to be tough because they have a Malphite building full armor against 580 champs. We can actually fight this because... oh, never mind. It's gone. So we should just leave. Oh, unless they're winning. Nice. We saved his life there. You need to be careful around Darius because if he gets 5 stacks, he can just wipe us. Yomo's Ghostblade is good with stealth because you can cast it before you go into stealth and you can travel a longer distance while stealthed. We're gonna do red and Raptors here. Yeah, you can also go Dustblade too. I would have want Dustblade. I might still go Dustblade, but I'm just worried about not having Black Cleaver to shred this guy's armor. I think I could go Dustblade if I get fed. Let's see if I can get really fed in the next minute or two. Malphite has no flash. Ooh, rip. So here we're gonna need Alawi to come down to mid now that Yasuo died. So I'm gonna need Alawi here in order to stop these guys. So we're just waiting for Alawi. I also look to fight Lee Sin here. I think I beat him. Yep. And then this is where the stealth kicks in. Just kite him here, waiting for my support to move up. Looks like he's just gonna be gone. So I need a little bit more gold. I think I have it in 100. So we're gonna do camp here. Maybe Herald next play. So if we can get Herald here, that's really good. So we're just being objective focused. Even though I don't have that many kills, we have 2 towers up. And we're about to get Herald. Rook bottom. So I get Herald here. I'm gonna base. And now that I have this lethality item, I can look for their squishy guys. So I'm gonna look for Caitlyn and Soraka. I like to one-shot them when they're alone. They have Lee Sin with them right now. Looks like they're already gonna be out. So now I want to look for Caitlyn and Soraka, and we can look to burst them. This is where my stealth might shine. Let's see. Let's see if he shows here. Nope. We cleared this vision. I think they're just going to play really safe now, actually, because they saw me. I want to go into... Oh, they're fighting mid. I can cross map really fast, because Yomos gives passive move speed out of combat. So I can move across lanes really fast. So now we want to play for Herald. I mean for Drag. They showed 2 mid, so I could actually just Herald here, sweep this, and then trap them under tower. Just using stealth there, pushing them off the tower, just threatening them so we can get the whole tower. And now we can back because their team's here. So now we have 4 towers to 1 tower. Not bad chunk. So we need Alawi to frontline here. We need to turn first. I'm gonna stay in the bush so I can look to catch Lee Sin here. Nice. I kinda got kicked away from the Caitlyn ult. I got flash on. Ah, rip. Malphite's broken, guys. Malphite actually is the hardest counter to our entire team because we have no AP threat and he just has so much passive armor. So this game is kind of lost from champion select, but if we play it cleanly, then we can most definitely win still. Might have to just go boots of swiftness because merc shards is not good. They don't have any merc tenacity. Tenacity won't work against knockups. And now I'm gonna go black cleaver because I need some percentage armor pen against the Malphite. Ooh, he's getting kited. Just sweeping this. So I want to send my Alawi bottom now because Baron's up. So we're gonna evolve W to kite them in slows and use my slows in team fights. And that'll just help me kite everybody. Careful mid. Oh, that Malphite's smurfing. Let's see if Malphite has no ulti here, so it's unfortunate because I can't kill Darius either, because Darius is really good counter against my champ too. Only champs I can kill is Caitlyn and Soraka, but they're just grouping really well. So we need to do a better job splitting them up. That's why I sent Alawi bottom to force Malphite or Darius to cover for Alawi. Yep, Caitlyn's bottom. Caitlyn's trying to stay away from me. That's fine. So I'm pushing here. And I'm trying to force someone to come top to match me. And since I push the wave in, I have 900 gold. I get Phage. Darius try to cancel me too. Now I can look bottom. So this game is going to probably go pretty late because neither team is looking for too much conflict. We maybe look bottom here. Gonna start using my stealth on Lee Sin. Gotta be careful for the Malphite. That's the raid boss. Full armor Malphite. I'm gonna look to see if I can cut off Soraka. No, doesn't look like it. Even if I go on Soraka here, I'm not gonna have an escape to get out. So we're just gonna have to base. Have to split push to win. We have to split push to win because Malphite is just too tanky for any of us to kill. It's just impossible to kill the guy because we have no AP damage. We can look for the steal though, that's for sure. Ooh, never mind. That was a bad smite. I thought they would burst it down a little bit more. Let's see if my team can win this. Nice. Definitely should have waited to smite there. I was just worried about getting kicked out by Lee Sin, so I was rushing the smite. Why did I end up getting Swifties or Mobies? So it's because they buffed Swifties and reduced it to 600 gold, but they nerfed Mobies and upgraded to 700 gold. So what a lot of people are doing now is they're just getting Swifties instead of the Mobies, especially against champs that have slows. Lee Sin's slow, Darius pulls a slow, Caitlyn E, and Soraka Q, and Malphite Q. So everybody on their team has a slow. I do have VODs on my live games. You'll just have to look through them on the internet. So this game is going to be really hard because of the Malphite. We're going to have to try and avoid the Malphite and maybe look for a pick. The enemy team is playing really well, actually, like so well. Because the Soraka and the Caitlyn never separate from each other. And they're always together with Lee Sin peeling for them or Malphite peeling for them. This is the problem with Kha'Zix, is that if the enemy team is coordinated, then you're one of the most useless champs in the game because you need people to be isolated in order to assassinate the weakest link. But they're just doing a good job really grouping all the time and keeping their carries safe. So we have to kind of split push to split them up. Because in a pure 5v5, we have no chance. Just because of the Malphite team fighting strength. So here I can actually show you guys how I use stealth here to assassinate Caitlyn. Now we go for Soraka. So just abusing my stealth, but let's see if Yasuo can get him. Oh, that tornado. Not bad. 2 for 2 in a 2v3. And we got a shutdown on Soraka. And we got two of the Barons and wasted some of their Baron time. Malphite even tankier with Dragon Soul with Mountain. Yeah, this is where the Mountain Soul comes in handy, when they can just stack a bunch of armor and still be really strong. So they don't even have to worry about like stacking damage. They can just put all their resources in stacking armor. Every one of their champions, if they wanted to. Lee Sin can start stacking, Soraka starting now, and Darius already got Ninja Tabbies. So everybody's going to benefit from double Mountain Drag stacking. So if I could go back and redo draft, I would most definitely pick an AP jungler here. Or ask if my mid laner would pick an AP champ. And that would just solve our entire team comp and team fighting. So I'm going to do Black Cleaver. So I have some armor pen for the next fight. And Black Cleaver is good on Kha'Zix because you get the CDR. And it stacks really fast because you have a bunch of abilities. There's no way I'm going to kill this Malphite, that's for sure. So I still have to look for these guys. These guys I can't even kill either because they're pretty tanky. And Soraka has ulti to heal them. So we have to split push to win. So maybe I just go bottom and look to split push. Oh, that guy's low. Not bad. Gonna go chase the Soraka with my W slow. Nice. You just gotta be careful here because Malphite. Ooh, that was a good kick. That was a pretty nice kick. But not bad. We got Darius and we got the Soraka. Pretty good in this type of game where we're kind of getting snowballed on based off team comp. Oh shit, I had no idea. I was wondering what rank the enemy Lee Sin was. Their Lee Sin is actually a Diamond 3. So well played, dude. Actually, like, you've been pretty on point with your kicks. This is a hard matchup for Kha'Zix because his Q and his E does reveal my stealth, and he can kick me as soon as I jump in. But I should have the advantage when killing squishy champs. The only problem is that the armor stacking is making it hard for me to do too much damage. How can we still win? The only way we can win is through split pushing alone. So we cannot be taking any team fight because we just don't win as a group at all. So we should kind of just like run around and look to split push to end if they ever mess up. But this is the type of game where it's really hard to win in like an even circumstance. You kind of have to rely on the enemy to fuck up. And so far their Malphite and their bot lane and their jungle have been just doing really well, especially Malphite. So we're kind of relying on Malphite to like miss his ulti, and if he ever does miss his ulti, then we just dive onto their backline. But it's hard to dive onto their backline without seeing Malphite ulti. So we have to kind of maybe use our team as bait for Malphite ult, and then go in afterwards. At 16, I'd be leveling up my E so I can get on their range champs easier. So Baron's up. I can rotate pretty fast because I have Mobies. So if they do start Baron, then I can just run up. I just want to see if someone comes bottom here. Most likely not, but there's a small chance. We should just push to pressure and hit, because we have to split push in order to win this game. And try and backdoor. Careful there. Lee Sin's here too. Okay. Malphite's alone here, but no one can kill him. He can actually 1v4 us. Whenever they choose, the enemy team can literally just start Baron, force a 5v5, and we'll be in a situation where we have to give Baron, or we have to steal, try and steal it. And then they should group mid, and then look to end. Because I think this game has gone a little bit longer than it should have, because since 20 minutes, I think we lost the game when Malphite got 2 armor items. They just need to force a fight. I'm just gonna look for the steal though. Take the plant here. It's 4K. It's a little hard to get in. I could have went in there, but it's really tricky because he also has a level 17 smite advantage, and Lee Sin was marking me with his kick. I could tell that he was like looking to jump over and kick me over the wall. So now they just have to group. Enemy team just has to group and then look to dive. If Malphite tanks tower with 3 armor items, then it's pretty much GG. So we're kind of seeing if we're kind of basically waiting for the enemy team to end the game. Not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna be optimistic for no reason because I don't see us having a win condition at this point, except maybe they run into our Nexus towers and Alawi gets the back door. The problem with going for backline is it's impossible against Malphite because Malphite can one-shot me with his ulti. So I need to wait for Malphite to miss ulti on one of my teammates before I go on their backline. My W like tickles them, it's like ant bites. And so if I show right here, Malphite's gonna look to mark me, but I don't even do any damage to Soraka either because Soraka has armor now. Ooh, that's GG. Hey, let's go Malphite. Dude, the Malphite there against 580 comp. I haven't played against a Malphite in forever, but Malphite there was the perfect pick. Oh my god. Look. How much max armor? How much max armor did you have? Wait, that's actually insane. Didn't check. Alright, I think he had like over 500 armor because Malphite has like a percentage armor steroid. And like, we just have no armor shred aside from my black cleaver and like this item. And I guess this item too, but we just have no AP damage, so there's like no way we could win team fights at all. So make sure in champ select guys, you have AP damage, and yeah, you won't ever run into this problem. But it's all good. It's a learning experience for probably Yasuo, and even like top lane here, you can go AP too, I'm not sure, but usually mid lane, be careful about going Yasuo, especially if you're the full AD team. Not sure where you picked in order, I think you picked 4th, in order, so you had time to react, I think. But you guys played really well. Enemy team, Malphite, really smurf there. Landed a bunch of ults, retro shades. Any tips for climbing? Play consistently, just like you play this game. Don't go for like any crazy plays unless you're trying to learn new champion. Then it's fine because you gotta fail some to win some, you know? But if you play consistently like you did this game, you're on a good foot. Yeah, GG's. Alright guys, for the last 5 minutes, let me focus on answering questions. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'll definitely answer them to the best of my abilities. Any tips with climbing, any tips with climbing on the silver, role champions, role questions, champion questions, synergy questions, how to path, how to ward, all that stuff. Thoughts on Mundo Jungle? Really good against magic damage champs. Tiamat and Lee Sin, it's good if you can buy it in one go. If you can buy it really early in the game. Vel'Koz is good against teams that can't dive in. Kiana's good against squishy champions, like mages, like Xerath. Zoe's good against champions that can't dive and one-shot her. Is 4 to 5 Doran's Blade on Emma still a thing? Not as OP as it used to be, but it can still be viable. How do I get my friends to stop making fun of you? Smurf on them. Ask them to 1v1. Be like, 1v1 me, bro. Easiest way to get slow down a Zac from spam ganking my lanes. Counter jungle to Zac, find him, and basically kill him and push him out of his own jungle. Top 5 junglers to Diamond. Olaf, Karthus, Lee Sin if you're good at Lee Sin, Elise if you're good at Elise. Elise is a ganking jungler. You have to snowball really hard and win the game fast. Lee Sin insect tips. Lee Sin insect tips. Practice and practice tool, but don't overforce insects in real game. Half the time you don't even need to insect to kill someone. You can literally just use your ulti for damage. What to focus with Trundle. Try and ulti a tank, especially a tank that has Aftershock, because Aftershock is really good. Yeah, that was my mom. That's my mom and my sister in the background. And make sure when you're playing Trundle you focus the guy that you're ulting, because he has less resistances. You can just insta one-shot him fast. When am I coming back to LCS? Hopefully in 2021, man. Right after this quarantine is over. I have no idea when this quarantine is going to be over. But I'll be grinding in solo queue for the next few months. Just at the last, recently I've been taking a break, playing some other games and stuff, and chilling at home. How to counter Nasus? Play AP champs. AP champs that can kite him. Cassiopeia, Ryze. But even those champs sometimes have a hard time kiting him late game, so you guys just gotta snowball fast. You can't let him get stacks. Aatrox can split push. Best jungle to use this patch. I like ganking junglers more, but farming junglers are pretty OP and low elo. How to play versus Zac? Invade, invade, invade. How to get out of gold when my teammates are inting every game? You just gotta carry, man. Climbing out of any elo, you just have to hard carry. Because, like, this is just one thing that I like to think about it this way. You can control one player on your team, and that's yourself. And you have 4 wild cards. But the enemy team has 5 wild cards. So if you are in control of your own gameplay, then you're going to have a higher chance of winning, because the enemy team has 5 inters, your team has 4 inters. So you just gotta, over time, not be the inter, and you'll just keep winning games. How good is Echo Jungle? Echo Jungle's scaling, really good late game. Are you streaming on Twitch later? Yeah, for sure. You guys can definitely catch me on Twitch. On my Twitch channel, it's MikeYeung. How good is Rek'Sai? Rek'Sai is really good early game jungler. You can gank through walls, do all that stuff. How do I get out of silver with Nocturne jungle? Hey Robert, I noticed you. How's it going? How to beat power farming junglers? Invade, 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 snowball, get herald, get dragons, stack dragons, get all the outer towers before 15 minutes. How to get out of Diamond 2? Diamond 2 is hard, man. You just gotta keep grinding, and you'll eventually get out when you're good at snowballing your advantages and playing consistently. Runes for Echo Jungle, Dark Harvest. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching the stream. If you guys enjoyed, remember a few things that we covered this game. Were covered during the stream is Jungle Clear, Lee Sin, you want to do Hunter's Machete, Red Buff, Blue Gromp, you want to do this on Jarvan as well, you want to focus the single target camps. Use your Smite buff, Smite on the blue buff because it has more armor. And when you go Talisman, you want to prioritize doing Raptors because it heals you a bunch when you're playing like champs like a Mumu, Kha'Zix, right? And then you want to focus Herald and use it on the low HP tower because it's more valuable that way. Thank you guys. Love you. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, remember, head over to ProGuides.com because we're going to be doing even more classes on ProGuides. And it's going to be less viewers, so there's going to be more chat interaction. Your questions will be answered, and basically, like they're doing like free trial thing, I'm pretty sure, and you can join in the viewer games where you play with us, and then we review your gameplay. Everybody that I've literally played with, talked to on ProGuides so far have been like really insane. They've climbed from like bronze to like gold in like months of just watching the live classes that go on every single day. Link for my Twitch, it's twitch.tv/MikeYeung. There you go. And I'll be starting my stream on Twitch. If you guys want to hang out on my Twitch channel, feel free. Alright guys, peace. Have a good day and thank you so much. See ya, see ya.